Hey, welcome back to Wrench and Regret. Today I'm going to be washing my MT-07. Typically use a bunch of different brands when I'm doing this. I'm going to use an Adams wheel and tire cleaner. I'll be spraying it on the wheel, letting it eat at the brake dust and everything else that's on the tires, or not the tires, but the wheels. Then I'm going to be using a Griot's snow foam, and that's with my foam cannon, and that's actually from Chemical Guys. I'll be spraying it over the bike and then wiping it down really good. First I'll do a good rinse, try to get all this dirt, mud, and dust that's built up from riding in the rain the past few days. Then I'll move on to the ceramic wax, and I'll be spraying it on a rag and applying it to the painted parts of the bike that are still damp. I'll rub it in really good, let it set for about a minute, rinse it off, then apply another coat of it, wipe it in, and move on to, I've got some Mother's VLR. I'll be applying it to the seat and to some of the rubber pieces. Again, nothing to the tires. You don't want to add anything to the tires that's going to cause them to be slick. You definitely want to try to stay away on a motorcycle from using any car wash soaps that have wax built into them. It's just a bad idea, because the tires, even if it's just a small percentage of the residue is left over on the tires from the soap wax, could cause for a bad day. We want to stay away from that, keep everybody safe. Then I'll be rinsing it off and then following up with just Meguiar's ceramic detail spray. That'll keep everything nice and protected through some rainstorms that I'll be driving through, and add a layer of UV protection to everything, keep it from fading. Then that'll finish it up. Yeah, follow me along. Let's do this. And just right now, just want to spray everything, get anything loose off the bike that's you know, just cleaning any tiny little gobs of mud or anything like that. Make sure you get in all the nooks and crannies that you can't get to with a rag, because that's really probably, without using some tools, the only way to get to it. But yeah, here we go. Don't be afraid, all this stuff's water resistant, waterproof, and I've still got the warranty intact, so if I'm wrong on that, I guess it's supposed to be waterproof, so I'm assuming that they'll replace it. Maybe not. Probably out a couple $1,000s if it leaks. Adams Polishes Wheel and Tire Cleaner. It's an all-in-one formula. I'll be applying it to the wheel surface, let it eat for a little bit, then I will apply another coat of it, and I will then move on to, I've got a Wheel Woolies, made in the USA, always great. Then I'll be agitating everything with that, and then spray it with the hose and see how much comes clean, and if it needs another round, then I'll be giving it another round. switch this nozzle around to water. There we go. And just apply it liberally. And I'm not worried about it getting on the chain surface because I'm going to be cleaning and relubing the chain after I'm done washing it, which is always a great practice. Anytime you've driven through a lot of rain or you've washed your motorcycle, it's a good practice to just, and a cheap practice, just to take care of your chain. It seems like a lot, but I've hardly used any of this product. So we'll let that eat for a minute. I like to do one at a time because you get fixated on one or the other wheels after you sprayed the one, and I don't like letting the stuff dry because it can leave a haze I've found in the past. So you want to stay away from that. Okay, it's been about a minute, so I'm going to apply another coat. Probably not necessary, but why not? Okay, now I'll take my wheel woolies. These are great. If you don't have these, pick them up. They come in several different sizes. I found that this one works the best for the spoke spacing on these wheels. And I'll just kind of run it between the spokes first. Oh yeah, this stuff's coming right off. The fronts, I'm going to agree that most of what is on the rear is the chain wax or whatever was used by the prior owner, and me probably. I've added some chain wax to it as well, but they were pretty gummy whenever I got this bike. The front doesn't have any of those issues. They should get 100% of this off without much effort. Because there's no debris like chain wax or anything on them. So. Okay, now we're going to move on to the foaming. Again, this is the Griot's snow foam. Works pretty good. Doesn't take very much with the foam cannon that I use. So this lasts probably a whole season, maybe a little bit more. I'll find where I put everything. Now I'm going to use the Meguiar's Advanced SiO2 technology hybrid ceramic wax. I like this stuff. I've used it for several years. You just want to kind of, while the vehicle's wet or the motorcycle's wet, you want to just spray it directly onto the painted surfaces. Now I'm not going to do the fenders or anything that could overlap with the tires, because I do not want wax on the tires, but anything like this I'm good with. And then on the pillion cover and the rear fairings, I'll spray directly onto the rag, a liberal thick amount, and apply it. That way it doesn't get any overspray on the wheels and tires. And this is good for any of the plastics, any of the painted parts. Everything else from here on out will be drying and then the detail spray. And for drying, I have a waffle weave that I purchased online some time ago. I don't remember where I got it from, but these are great for drying the vehicle. Recommend you get them a little bit damp than you start, but they're going to get damp, so I just start kind of lightly going over everything, and as it gets wet, it'll start pulling more and more moisture from it. Then I just go back over. Again, if you skip some steps, it speeds things up. And while you're doing this, you're also rubbing in that wax that's the residual that's left over. Next up, I've got Mother's VLR vinyl leather rubber. Swear by this stuff. It's great. It doesn't leave it oily or slick. It adds a good layer of UV protection. I'm not really worried about this seat being shiny, but the UV protection is important. Eventually I will be replacing the stock seat, but for now, this is the saddle I got, so let's take care of it. Maybe I send it down the road, somebody needs a stock seat, and I've got one that's been taken care of. And I can make a few dollars off of it. Now, just conservative, just that little bit, and it goes a long way. And that's all you want. And it doesn't feel slick or anything like that. What's great is all the plastic rubber parts of the bike, this works fantastic for. And I'll do all this first before I do the detail spray, because if I get any overlap onto the painted surfaces, the detail spray will lock that in and remove it. Just do all anything plastic, the light housings, anything that has the potential to fade, this will keep that from happening. Okay, we're moving on to Meguiar's Hybrid Ceramic Detailer. Almost empty with this bottle, but I have a brand new one on tap there. So I'll just apply some to the rag, mist a little bit onto the surface, and just kind of dig in and really work it into the paint. This will shine it up, and it'll also take any of the extra residual from the main wax application that we put on and clean it up really well. It's brand new. Well, it's by no means perfect, but it's a good enough detail for today, and well, good enough for the roads we ride on. Stay tuned for more videos of some different how-tos. I've got some things I'm going to do with the exhaust. The Black Widow sounds great, even with the dB reducer, eliminator, the baffle installed. It's still a little raspy and loud for my liking, so what I'm going to do is pull that baffle out, wrap it in some fiberglass muffler mesh, and see how that does, and maybe compare decibels without the baffle, with the baffle, and with that mesh installed. So look forward to that. If you like what you're seeing, I'm just getting started with this. Please like and subscribe. That'll help me figure out if this is something I need to continue working on. I do appreciate it. Have a great day. Now, where did I put my wrench?